What is going on, guys? Brendan over here at Geek Talk, and we have some Spider-Man No Way Home to talk about. I'm going to play a little devil's advocate because I have yet to see the movie, but I don't mind spoilers. It doesn't ruin the experience for me, so I know the details. I know what's going on in this movie. And whether you want to call it nostalgia bait, whatever, gimmicky, whatever, man, it doesn't matter. This is just something we need to talk about. And I don't know if you guys are black pilled, white pilled, red pilled. I don't know where you stand with Hollywood and the MCU or Disney as a whole. But for me, I try my best to avoid being black pilled with everything in life, whether it be movies, TV shows, life in general, whatever, man. I don't see the point of it. And so when I see good shit like this, I gotta talk about it. I gotta call it out, and I gotta, I just gotta let my opinion be heard, let my voice be heard. So we're gonna dive into this right quick. If you look at the ratings for audience scoring 99% for Spider-Man No Way Home, and then you have of course, your critics' view at 94%. This movie breaks the mold for a lot of things. Now, if you've been paying attention to Hollywood and you have a functioning mind, brain, I don't mean to be too rude, but if you're turned off by the woke agenda, and from what I've heard of this movie, it has very minimal. I mean, it may be one or two lines, but you really got to nitpick. It really doesn't have an overlying woke agenda, identity politic kind of message in it, which is good. And you're seeing that by the audience score, the audience reviews, the reaction from it. You're seeing that, and you're seeing how that works. You're seeing that's what people want to see. You know, they blamed Black Widow, Shang-Chi, Eternals. They blamed all these movies' failures for a certain situation going on in the world. You know, people being fearful of going to the theater. People rather staying home, watch the movie from their safety of their house. And for the longest time, myself, several other content creators have been calling bullshit on that. The reason people aren't watching these movies, the reason these movies are failing is because the woke agenda, the identity politics, the stupid messaging that Hollywood wants to put in everything they make nowadays. It drives you insane. But when you see shit like this, man, this is awesome. Yes, it's Rotten Tomatoes. It's not much more different than IMDb, but this is what we have to go off. This is audience scores. This is audience rating. This is what they are saying about this movie. So this is what we got to go off, man. And they're liking it. And I know some people want to say it's nostalgia based. Some people want to say it's gimmicky. Some people want to say it's lazy. And maybe it is. I'm not saying this movie, like I said, I haven't seen it yet, but I'm not saying this movie has the best writing. It's the best directed movie. I'm not saying it's the best Marvel movie. But to see what this movie's doing opening weekend, and this score right here is just going to make it do so much better. This is going to go make people want to watch this movie, this 94, 99%. This is going to maybe the people that are black-pilled, with Marvel and Disney. This might give them enough motivation to go watch this movie. This might... I don't understand, dude. It's just tricky, man. It's just tricky. I get if you said the bridge has been burnt by Disney, you feel burnt one too many times. You've canceled Hollywood, you've canceled Disney for what they did with Gina Carano, for what they've done in the previous MCU movies, whatever. I get it, man. So if it's not enough, I understand. But this in a whole is huge because it will convince people to go watch it. And a movie like this, I think it's a movie that needs to be supported. It needs to be a movie that, to show Disney that, yeah, this is what we want. And Disney, if you listen to your fans, this is the kind of stuff you'll get. This movie is going to make possibly over $1 billion. I think it's a real possibility, and we're going to dive into this article right here. Spider-Man No Way Home is off to a monumental start at the box office. The highly anticipated Marvel film Spider-Man No Way Home grossed a huge $50 million on Thursday, the third best preview night for any film in history. Deadline and Variety report the only movies to have made more in previews are 2019's Avengers Endgame and 2015's Star Wars Force Awakens. Those are two absolute bangers, dude. I'm not saying those were great movies by any stretch of the imagination, but if you think about Avengers Endgame, the conclusion of it all, every single MCU character, it has a little bit for everybody. It has Black Panther, it has Scarlet Witch, it has Black Widow, it has Iron Man, it has Thor, it has Ant-Man. Literally everybody. And then Force Awakens, the first Star Wars movie in a long time. You know, I always thought Star Wars Force Awakens was a ripoff of A New Hope, but that doesn't change the fact that it was the first Star Wars movie in so long, and it was, people were gonna go check it out. People were gonna go watch it because they were starving for Star Wars. They needed Star Wars, and to hear that it was finally making a return on the big screen with today's special effects, with today's writing, you know, or anything with today compared to the 70s, compared to the early 2000s, this movie is what people wanted. They wanted to see what their beloved Star Wars would look like in modern day film, and people were going to go. So to see Spider-Man really compete with these two bangers of a movie, I mean, it just tells you, and it just shows you how many people wanted to see this movie, how many people were excited to see Tom Holland and the potential appearance of maybe Toby and maybe Andrew and the previous villains being in this movie. It shows you that people wanted to see it. It shows you that people were in love with those previous iterations of these characters. And dude. Dudes. So No Way Home is expected to gross between 150 million and 180 this weekend, Variety reports, though something it could go even above 200 million. This would quite easily set the record for the biggest opening weekend since the blank began, which currently belongs to Venom Let There Be Carnage with 90 million. To put this in perspective, the no movie of the blank pandemic has made 100 million in the opening weekend, and according to Deadline, No Way Home could make that much just in the opening day alone. People, I want you to listen. Disney has been running with this idea. The reason these movies have failed is because of the pandemic, the coof, saying people were fearful going to the movies. People were fearful going out to the theaters, enjoy these movies. They'd rather stay home in the safety of their home with no concerns at all, which has been total bullshit. Total bullshit. And this movie proves it, man. People will go out to drones when they are excited about a movie. And when the people go to a movie, they come out saying, holy shit, no wokeness, no political underlying tone, no identity politics. Just a good, fun movie. A movie, from what I've heard, has emotion, heart, energy. The action is amazing. So when those first reactions come out of the theater, that is just bringing more people in. This whole lie that people were afraid to go to the theater because of a certain situation the world in is complete bullshit. And this movie shines a light on it. The jig is up, Disney. If you do what your fans want, I'm not saying it's going to be fan service every time, but if you listen to your fans, if you appreciate your fans, and you try to do your best and give the fans what they want, they will appreciate it. But if you continue to go down the route you're going down, more and more people will be blackpilled. More and more people will boycott your shit. People won't go watch it. And it's sad to see that. It's sad to see people feel that way, that they don't want to go watch these movies because how many times you've burnt them in the past. But you can't expect anything else. And who knows, maybe this is a one and off thing. Maybe they'll just go back to their normal old ways, and I'm sure they will, and it's hard to get your hopes up. But to see something like this be so successful and blow things out of the water and just, crack the narrative a little bit, it's just awesome to see. But yeah, that's really all I got on this topic. I'm ecstatic. I'm going to go watch it Sunday. I'm going to go hopefully appreciate it and be right there with you guys with saying, holy shit, this is a 9 out of 10. This is 8 out of 10. This is a great film. But yeah, if you like this video, please leave a like down below. Comment, let me know your thoughts. Try not to spoil it for people, but if you don't want it to be spoiled, you should know better to go into a comment section on YouTube. And if you're interested in future content, please subscribe. Like always, guys, love yourself. Love everybody. Deuces.